Hello everyone, welcome to a first in a series of videos on this game called Kingdom Conquest. It's available for Android and also iOS. It is a multiplayer MMORPG. It has SimCity aspects, it has first-person shooter aspects, it has MMORPG warring aspects. There's an incredible amount of depth to this game. It is not your typical run-of-the-mill card battle game that you'll see all over the place. Unfortunately, for a lot of these systems, for Android and for iOS, it's difficult to find these nuggets or these gems of a game through the store. A lot of the stuff at the top of the charts is kind of just crap. But this is a real true gem here, and I wanted to do some videos and hopefully drum up more interest for this kind of game. So this is made by Sega. This is Kingdom Conquest 1. There is Kingdom Conquest 2 out. But I don't really enjoy that game. I don't want to disparage Sega, but I think they really dropped the ball on Kingdom Conquest 2. It's, they're supporting both games right now, KC1 and KC2, so you can go play either one. The second is not a sequel to this. It's kind of different. It has some of the same aspects, but there's, also a lot of differences. The main reasons I don't like it are it's incredibly slow. The loading time between screens and the map view is a nightmare. There's also not a fully... it's a newer game, so the amount of monsters you have versus in this game are completely different. This game has been around for a long time, so there's a lot of great monsters for it. And the game's also fully developed, so you'll still get some patches from Sega, but they're not going to completely change the game on you, whereas they might be doing that in KC2. You really just don't know what to expect. As for players, there's more players on the iOS version. I play on the Android version. I like Android because you get a lot more promotions. These are the different promotions. And when I say promotions, don't think money. It's not necessarily that. Every Monday night Eastern Time or Tuesday morning Eastern Time around 5 a.m. and Friday morning Eastern Time around 5 a.m. Sega will do an update. And they'll have different promotions where you can get different cards, and if you do certain things or meet different objectives, it's really neat. So it kind of keeps the game flowing and alive and interesting, and there's a draw to log in each week or each day or whatnot. So let's get started. Let's go to the world selection. In Kingdom Conquest, it's completely different than other games. In other games, you might join up and you'll play for a couple months and then the game's just over. People just either stop playing or it just goes on forever. There's no real purpose. This game actually has a purpose. Each world is associated with a season. Each season lasts about 6 months on minimum, 6 to 9 months. This is season 1 for this world. The second in front of world 4 in front of world 5 indicates these are second seasons. And this 3 indicates this is a third season. And this is it started on June 18th, so it's about midway into the third season. This started a couple days ago, September 20th, so it's brand spanking new. What else? Shows you how many people are online. A lot of people from Japan play this game, so during at 3 p.m. USA time, Eastern time, you're just not going to get a lot of people on because a lot of people are just Japanese that play. But there's still a lot of Americans that play, and that's online right now. Like this morning, a lot more people were on. Tonight there'll be a lot more people, on. This is in the middle of the day, so but it's kind of neat. You can see, how many people are logged in and whatnot. If you download this game, install it, what do you do? Which world do you join? I strongly recommend joining the first season, without the 1 or 2, or I'm sorry, the 2 or 3 before it. The reason being is what differentiates this game from other games is when the season's over, when the 6 months are over, you take all the cards and all the items that you collected and bring them to the second season. And when the second season's over, you do the same thing for the third season. Right now, iOS is on the 5th season. That's 30 months if you figure 6 months per season. So you could start the game 3 years ago, and you're still playing it with the cards and so your investment in time and money is really well spent versus other games where you might play for a month, drop a couple bucks, and that's the end of the story. So we're going to jump in here. I have accounts on every world, but this is the world I really play. You can make an account anywhere, but you can only make one account per phone. So you gotta, when you make your account, you have to kind of know what you're doing. I'm gonna make an account, or we have an account here. We're gonna jump right in and check it out. This first video is just kind of an overview of everything available in the game. There's a bunch of different features. It's going to start out here, and when you first join the game, so when you first create an account, it's going to let you pick 3 classes: a mage, a fighter, like a barbarian, or a knight. And the knight is going to be your tank guy, and your mage is your AoE guy. There are 3D dungeons you can run in here. Here are the different dungeons. There's 2 sets of dungeons. The first set unlocks as your character increases in level, and the second set unlocks as you beat certain towers, certain dungeon towers. So you'll run the dungeons, and then there are you get a reward when you beat the dungeon, and you can run with up to 4 different players, so other people can play with you. And when you run it, and when you complete a dungeon like this nameless tower, you will get 2 clear bonus draws. A little 2 down there, and I don't have any right now, but then you can draw from this pack using your draws. There's a bunch of different stuff in here. These are common cards. They're brown. Uncommon is silver. Then you have rare, which is gold, and then you have super rare, which is bluish green. You can also get an item of equipment. Same thing. Common, uncommon, rare, super rare. So you could, every time you beat a dungeon, you'll get your 2 draws. You could do your 2 draws, and you'll also get some crystals. Crystals, you can only use your draws at the dungeon that you beat, but your crystals can be used at any dungeon. But just realize that as you go higher in the dungeons, the harder they get, but also the more crystals it will cost to draw from that pack. So, but the draws that you can potentially get from that pack will be a lot nicer than the draws at a lower level dungeon. The other feature, so that's the FPS element of the game. The other feature is the Sim City, the building up aspect. Now, like a lot of other games that have copied this game, you have your wood, your stone, your iron, and your food, and you will use those to not only build more facilities, but also to build monsters. So here is the monster aspect of the game, and the card battle game. So you have your cards, and you take your cards and you make a unit of 1 or 2 or 3, and you have to unlock the 3rd slot. You're initially allowed to do a unit of 2, but then if you unlock the 3rd slot, it's called the rear slot. This is the leader, this is the rear, this is the front. If you unlock this slot, you can have another monster there, do more damage. So that is the monster slash card battle system. And you have a world map also. Now this is the MMORPG element, where that's me, that's my base right there, and then you'll have other people on this map. This guy here, this guy here, this guy here, this guy here, and you think, oh, that's not very much, but we are just this little, I'm the little blue dot here, and that white box is just my viewing area. This entire thing is the whole world map, and look how slow that white box scrolls. Up to 20,000 players can join this world at once. As you create an account, as the world fills up, your position, your starting position, I joined very early, so I'm near the center. The starting position will go further and further out. When you first start, you can pick one of these 4 quadrants to start in. Doesn't really matter. It kind of, which one you pick. It comes into play more so in the 2nd season. It's more important then. But you also have other, this is the MMORPG element. You have other stuff too. You have your auction where you can buy not using real money. Different monsters. You use in-game currency which you acquire by beating dungeons. You cannot buy monsters, which is a good thing. There's a social networking aspect. There's alliances you can form and join and talk about different strategies and whatnot. There are shards you can acquire and get super elite monsters. There is a whole host of things you can do with this game, and we are just scratching the surface. So I hope you guys tune in to the 2nd video, and please use my invite code. You'll get a rare and I'll get a rare, and it will help us both out. And thanks again.